Good evening, Bobakapa TV viewers. Welcome again to our usual slot every Tuesday, 6:30 to 7:30. My name is Yongamela Manene. On behalf of Amaqhawe Ethu, I wish to welcome you to this program of ours that speaks to the unsung heroes of our liberation heritage, that speaks to those events that are never shared, that speaks to those unknown indigenous people around. We were speaking about Amaqhawe, we were speaking about many other clans around our space. Today, I'm having one of the clans within the Khoisan history, Amaqhawe, okanye Amaqhawe, Amaqhawe, and many other clans that are descendants of the Khoisan history. The original people that history speaks about in our midst that were lying around. I remember during the young days, these people were referred to as strandlopers and many other names. These people, indigenous people, were referred to Hottentots and many other names. But today, I'm hosting Captain Edmund Stearman, a Khoisan activist, a descendant of Chief David Stearman, which the airport of Gqeberha is named after. He is here to talk to us about many aspects of the Khoisan activities in our communities in order as a form of liberating the Khoisan. Like, as I always say, the Aborigines and the Red Indians of America, Aborigines of Australia. Here in South Africa, we have the Khoisans who are having the similar story told. Welcome, Captain, to our program. It's not the first time I'm hosting you. Maybe you're used to these lights now.
Thanks, Yonga. And good evening to the viewers. And thanks for having me.
You have been here, but other people were not watching on the day. Can you reintroduce yourself? I'm not being disrespectful. English is our colonial language. Forgive me for not using it.
Right. Thanks, Yonga. I will do that gladly. My name is Edmund Stearman. I'm the 8th generation descendant survivor of the wars of dispossession. I reside in Pettelsdorp, in the northern areas of Gqeberha. I'm 53 years old. 53, still young. And I'm an activist. I'm a leader of my community and tribe, which is the Gamtower tribe. They came from Gamtower.
The Gamtower.
The Gamtower. Oh. So yeah, it's people that used to live along the river. Remember, the Khoisan lived next to rivers with the mountains as the backdrops. That was our boundaries in time immemorial. These days, it's separated by roads and whatever. But I'm here today to tell your viewers, look, there's many parallel structures in Gqeberha, good structures. People focusing on language. There are people focusing on the cultural aspects of our communities, because we have diverse communities within the space. We work together. People say that there's a lot of fighting and infighting in the Khoi. No. Our diversity allows us to differ from each other. And it's important. If there is many streams, that it will help. As there's an Afrikaans saying, bichi bichi maak baie. Bichi bichi maak baie.
Mooi man.
Yeah. So it's important that all of us are moving in the right and in the same direction, moving forward. That's important. And it's important for our generations to come that they are educated in terms of culture, language, and also obviously heritage. I mean, we've got one of the biggest heritage landmarks in Gqeberha, which are renamed the airport. So we cannot run away. This territory was once occupied by these people. And these people and the descendants of those original people, who they used to call Hottentots and Bushmans, are still alive today. And we want to make sure that they are re-established and work their cultural programs within the schools, within the communities, and move and create a new narrative that we are not dead. We're very much alive, and we want to practice our customs, our traditions, and follow our customary laws, which has been hidden. We couldn't practice it. Many of our people died because of speaking the language, but now the time is right. Because of the constitutional democracy of the country, it allows us now to re-establish ourselves as those people from time immemorial.
So, Captain, as you are saying that this is a restoration program, if I may term it in my own term, what kind of activities are these in terms of, you've shared that there's schools, this and that, something that is tangible where Uyongamela and his sons, Oqhobela and Imange, to go and experience, maybe to, as an exchange or some form of educating the others, because we need to know about each other. Why am I Xhosa, which is part of the clique used by the Khoisans? You know, so what are you doing in order, where can we go, or what can we do to access that information?
We are busy together with Nelson Mandela University to set up an Indigenous Knowledge System Center at the university, which we will make sure that all the information needs to be accessible to the broader community, and it not being in archival stores. We want to bring the archives to the community. I'm wearing this skin on my head. Why? That is to draw attention that those people, they call it terra nullius, when people took the land. Terra nullius means this was no man's land. This is to tell, not because we are wearing skins, people had assumed that this was no man's land. We are people, and our ancestors were people. They were a civilized community, but that civilized community was ignored by those that came to the shores of our ancestors and our land. But yet, today, we are not regarded as uncivilized anymore. We are regarded as civilized, but yet, I'm a leader. I'm regarded as a chief of my community, but I've got no land. Yeah. So you tell me, and the viewers tell me, how does that make sense?
Besides the Nelson Mandela, do you have maybe a festival of some sort where community interactive? You know, we're still that, we have lots of us that still get scared to go to university. We think that we're going to be swallowed by colonialism. Is there anywhere where we'll meet as equals, where we'll be able to exchange maybe the type of foods and so forth? Just a festival of some sort around.
Yes, about 2 years ago, we had a festival, a diverse community festival at the Galvindale Sport Grounds, the Galvin Trek.
Beautiful.
Yes, and it was organized through Arts and Culture. And it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful event because you had your Indian community, you had your white community, you had your Chinese there, you had your colored community, you had your Khoi and San community, we had our Black African brothers that were there. So all in all, that should be a foundation to work from. To create what the president of the country is saying, social cohesion is important in the country. And if we work from that premise, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, it will become normal and more acceptable to everybody, and the respect will grow amongst each other as communities.
Yes, viewers, there it is. You hear for yourselves. Amaqhawe Ethu has brought it to you today just to share about this rich history of ours. Thank you very much. Mandiphinde ndibulise kwakhona kubabukeli beMpuma Kapa TV. Namhlanje apha kweliqonga lamaqhawe ethu apho sixoxa sincokola ngembali yomzabalazo woMzantsi Afrika nazo zonke izinto ezenzekileyo. Abafikayo nabangenayo namhlanje sikunye noCaptain Edmund Stearman olithandazwe nongumlweli wamalungelo amaqhakancu okanye amakhoyi. Ulapha phakathi kwethu ezoncokola ngazo zonke ezi zinto namadabi abo abawalileyo. Sizawukhumbula that in the last month or so we had one of the queens of the Khoisans that was in an accident, that passed on in an accident around Colesberg or Bloemfontein. She passed on. May her soul rest in peace, and we wish that healing for the family, especially the king, because having a partner gone, iyawutheza amandla, and it changes the individual. So we wish them healing as the family, we wish them healing as the nation, and we wish healing to South Africa as well. Captain, once again, you were sharing with us about these programs, the Nelson Mandela University program in your genealogy and other stuff. Is there maybe a program or an activity that you are engaged in that interacts and comes into play with the communities? Can you share about those with us?
Yes, there is a couple of programs that we are currently running. One of them is what we call the Eco Science or Eco Education program, where we are focusing on high schools. We have set out a day at the university where we take the learners. Last year we took about 100 learners from 5 different schools to Nelson Mandela University in a day program where we taught them about heritage, the history, talk about the culture. We had our history professor there. We had a doctor in anthropology where we taught them how to make soap. We had agricultural expert there to teach them how to work the soil, how to test the pH balance of the soil, and how to plant. And then we had a specialist from, we used to call it Vista University, but there's now the medical faculty that teach them about medicinal plants. Now, everything put together is what we call IKS, the Indigenous Knowledge Systems. Knowledge Systems. IKS, yes. So
it's one of those aspect of the Khoisan, because our grandfathers, they would say you need to get that medicine that will kill the snake bite from the poison from Amaqhawe. They know how to get the poison out. So are those type of things that we are teaching?
That's what we are teaching. That's what we are teaching, and we believe that is parts and embedded within us. When people came here, our healers were here, and some of that knowledge are still within the community. I've lost one of my people about a month ago. She passed on, and she was one of the great knowledge holders. But what we've done is we've made sure that we recorded her knowledge into a book, right? And that book is what we call your biocultural protocol book. It's about 87 pages of who we are.
Oh.
Within in the book, you will find the history, you will find the origin. We've put the maps in the book, and we've worked with the National Department of Science. Today it's called Science, Technology and Innovations. For the past 2.5 years. That book is now with the printers, last time I heard. And soon that book will become a guiding document under Act 6 of 2019, which deals with the promotion, protection, the development and management of indigenous knowledge system. So that is important that our communities must be aware. And if there are still indigenous knowledge holders out there, they need to come in contact with us so that we can make sure that we leave all that information for the generations to come. It's not for us. 100 years from now, you and I will not be here anymore. And many of the indigenous knowledge holders might not be alive. But this time we've learned our lesson to make sure that we document as we go along so that that knowledge never should subside and that knowledge will stay within the community. So that is some of the activities. We're working with the schools, we're working with youth groups, and we're broadening it out now to different areas. We're going this year to Kocha, a municipality, and we also reaching out to Bayers-Nontia municipality. So yeah, hopefully maybe in the next 2 years we will be able to introduce it countrywide. And then another thing also is making sure that we work on curriculum development, because that's the most important thing. This knowledge are not readily available. It's not mainstream. So we want to make sure that this opportunity that has come along, being on a TV channel or TV station, that this knowledge are shared with the broader community out there and the viewers of Gqeberha and around the country.
Now, Chief Edwin, these programs, do they have little offsprings of them, like where we can access them? You spoke about the ecosystem IKS program. Is there where a retail of some sort or any where we can go and buy this buhuti, I'm making an example, and all those kind of things, in the name of Khoisan?
Very, very, very important point that you're raising. Currently, everything is informal, and that needs to change. We want to request support from our government. It's our government. And we need support, and I think maybe that is some of the key issues that we need to look at, because our knowledge holders are standing on street corners, selling informally this medicine. I think what the university institutions can do, they can assist to test these medicines and use that knowledge, and our healers maybe get certificated, and that knowledge can be, streamlined. You don't always need to have a school or an institution to share knowledge. This knowledge has come from time immemorial. 500 years ago, our people has done that. So why can't that continue? Why must you always be in an institution to get a certificate from an institution if that can be made available within the community? And give hope to our learners, our youngsters out there that are maybe struggling academically, that there is an avenue, and there's the avenue that we want to create for the future.
There you go, viewers. You hear for yourselves that there are things happening in this Gqeberha of ours. There are things happening amongst the people that are bringing back those medicines that could help that drug-addicted child of the community, that could help that alcoholic husband in the community, that could help that poor and unrecognized child with rooted knowledge in his or her hands to heal the nation that we are living in. Today we are hosting Chief Edmund Stearman, an activist in the Khoisan community. He is here with us and explaining everything happening to them, because they are part and parcel of this struggle of ours. Thank you very much. Please don't turn off the channel, because we're still coming back to you with more information and activities in the program of Amaqhawe Ethu on channel 260 DSTV. Thank you very much for watching. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you very much for staying tuned on to this program that is excitingly very much encouraging and motivating. It's one of those programs where I'm speaking lots of English. Ek wil probeer om Afrikaans te praat ook and see what can I get out of it. Today I'm having Captain Edmond Stearman, a cultural activist, a Khoisan activist, and someone who's a descendant of the Chief David Stearman, which the port of Gqeberha is named after. Captain Edmond, you spoke about the university program, AKS, in the last segment. You spoke about the activities that were happening in Kelvindale. And I'm sure the people, their eyes and ears are wide and open because you have many other aspects that you can share with us today, as you promised. Can you give more into this culture, program of the Khoisan community so that people know about?
Yeah, we've got plans. It's one thing to have plans and to execute it. But what is important for us this year is our cultural dances. We've got children, young kids. They magnificent. They've grasped. You can see it's a root.
Can I put a pause on you?
You can.
I saw a clip, I don't know on which social media platform, where Ngosi Sikelel Africa was sung in Khoi or San language or Nama language by a group of youngsters.
Yes.
Are they from Gqeberha?
They from Gqeberha. They are under one of our leaders in Kariga, PC Gert Steenkamp, and hello, PC Steenkamp, if you see me on television. Yes, they've done it a couple of times. We've also got leaders in Chetty, in Bloemendal, the Billings family, Chief Brendan Billings and his wife. They are having classes at Habelgan Primary School. I think they every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you're in the area, pay them a visit. Habelgan Primary School.
Where is it?
It's in Bloemendal. I don't have the street,
okay.
I know, but it's, if you ask anyone in Bloemendal, they will explain you where Habelgan is. They have been doing this now for a couple of years. There is some other leaders like Kaup Maleba of Hillside. It's also one of the language experts that's working with Pansalp. And that's the important thing, that our language are one of the key pillars that needs to be restored. And we're grateful for people that has gone in that direction and giving guidance, because I can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. We have to do it together. And you might be good in language, I might be good in the history side of things, someone else. So that is important, that we prepare when we hand over the baton to the next generation.
Wow.
That they secure and are rooted in their identity. So we've got our dances. The language is there. We want to make sure 2025, this year, Heritage Day, must be one of the biggest, and I'm hoping that our Minister of Arts and Culture, die man wat sê hy bysan, that he will take note, Minister Gayton McKenzie, that we have an event in Gqeberha this year. So if you get this message, Minister McKenzie, we need to have our cultural day here in Gqeberha, in Kelvindale, and we make sure that we invite everybody. We want to have our real dancers. You know, I don't know if you have heard about the real dancers. We've got people that are like spinning the wheels, standing still in the dust, and they are just moving their feet. It's beautiful to watch.
It's like shuffling. It's like shuffling. I've seen it in Calvinia.
Yeah, so we need to have these activities that can bring the community together. They say sport bring people together. So can dance. Many of our children are experts. I mean, I'm looking at my daughter at home. She's 12 years old. But she can do all the moves and stuff on TikTok. And we need support from our government, that they support these type of activities, support the leaders within our communities, and make sure that what happened in the past should never be repeated, that we find anchorage in our identity and acceptance by the broader community, and make sure that Gqeberha will never be the same. That when you talk about Gqeberha, we must make sure that Gqeberha did not start in 1820, yes, when the settlers came here. No. There were people here before. And those people want to exhibit their culture and tradition. So I'm hoping that the minister do get this message, and that we have our day during Heritage Month this year in Gqeberha.
And he must come to Mpuma Kapa TV.
Of course, he needs to come.
On to Amaqhawe Ethu program.
We have to make sure about it. So Minister Mackenzie, please.
So that he knows that this started here.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Out of interest, Captain Adnan, on the, what do they call it? Oliphant Pass. There used to be a big stone with the poison drawings on it of a lion. I still remember we were still very young when we were shown that. And it was making no sense. Why are they showing us this stone? Now, my mind, as we're speaking, it comes back. Is there anything in that region of trying to get those? It was a beautiful, I think it was in a red color or yellowish color, but it was there in, we used to call it Zupek somewhere on the top of that Oliphant Pass.
Yeah, we look.
Or any others that are around those significant drawings.
We recently found one here close by Van Stadens.
Wow.
We found look, that when it comes to the paintings, we call it the title deed of our people, because we could not write, but we could draw. I can tell you an example of in 1797 about John Barrow. And this is what people might not know. John Barrow was one of the most renowned writers at the time in the 1790s. And he came to South Africa. Now people are going to ask me, why you mentioned John Barrow? You know why he came to South Africa?
No.
He heard that...
Let me give you a pause, because I don't want to cut you in this beautiful story of John Barrow.
Yeah.
And I wish that we take it further later. And you're going to come back with the story of John Barrow.
Yeah.
Just give me on the sites for now that you can mention that people can visit.
Look, there is many places. You've got Van Stadens. You've got there in outside Potensi. There is caves. We've got one outside Grundal, outside Kariga. Many, if you go to Grahamstown, it's all over. So that title deeds and that rock art tells a story of its own. And it cannot be that it's only the archaeologists that are interested in these things. But it's not in mainstream. That should bring pride to us as South Africans, because that rock art goes thousands of years back. Long before even our colonists came to our shores, which tells us there were life here. And if that life is still available today, it's important that attention must be brought to these paintings, to the culture, as I said, the language. I think South Africa is at this point where there's so much information available to everyone. And if we are getting the opportunity to exhibit all these things, get our museums also involved, which I think is also important, then that history, where it started and where we find ourselves, should be embraced by the whole country.
Viewers, you have it. You hear it for yourselves. You see it, and directly from the people that have brought it to you. Amaqhawe Ethu on Pumakapa TV with Edmund Stirman, a rightful heir to the Chief David Stirman's ancestry and lineage. We thank you for watching with us, and we're going to come back to share more that you can consider to view as a lover of liberation and as a supporter of freedom. Thank you very much. Amaqhawe Ethu will be coming back soon. Stay tuned on. Thank you for staying on. Thank you for watching. As you all know, we are always here every Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30, sharing these liberation heritage stories and related stuff. Today, I'm having Captain Edmund Stirman, who is an activist, a freedom lover, and a child of the soul here in Gqeberha, in Bethelsdorp. Other people know Bethelsdorp as a Ethu. Others know it as a Cheti. But it's one and the same. It's the area which originally there's some rich history of Khoisan people in it. And I understand there are many other claims around it. And he's here with us today to talk about their activities as Khoisan, because they are part and parcel of this rich history of ours, including liberation. But they are not yet liberated, as he has mentioned it, that is a rightful child of the soil, but he is treated as a foreigner in his own land of birth. Chief, you've shared with us all the other programs starting for the indigenous knowledge systems and the programs around the activities that you are having. You've shared that all these drawings that you see across against these rivers and the mountains of this beautiful land of ours, they are title deeds for your own information. I just learned it today. That even kicks out the land expropriation without compensation debate, because they have been there for thousands of years. Others, they have just arrived in the last 400 years and yet claim to be founders, discoverers of this beautiful land of ours. What other processes are there in your community? Because the viewers want to know.
Yonga, I want to take this opportunity, and thanks again for this platform. I want to encourage our communities across the country, Khoi and Sen. Please, leaders, communities, please participate in processes. Please make sure that you follow due processes. And I know there is a discourse around, do you need to apply? Why must you apply if you are the descendants of the first people? And this debate will go on for many, many more years in terms of First Nation status. But South Africa, as we know, are governed by laws. And I want to encourage our viewers out there, our communities of Khoi and Sen, please participate in these processes, because we will not be able to bypass, although the title deeds are there. But now we've got a unique opportunity to participate in a process where you have to vet yourself in claims in terms of your identity. And I want to encourage everyone that is out there, whether you're in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, whether you're in the Northern Cape, whether you're in the Free State, you've got your Cape Khoi, which are the umbrella name of all Khoi and Sen, Khoi people within the Cape, as you know, with the Old Cape, from the Western Cape to the Eastern Cape. Then you've got your Nama people that's up more towards the Orange River. We call Amaqhawe land today. You've got your Korana, you've got your Griqua. So all these people are there. But we won't be able to reap the benefits of what we claim if we don't participate. It's like, Yonga, you've got a car. If you don't have a driver's license, you're not roadworthy. You're not supposed to be on the road because you did not pass a test. And the long and short of what I'm trying to say is, here is people asking us to be tested. And it's very difficult, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but yet in the interest of those that are coming after us, in terms of generations, we are here as communities to make sure that we lay the foundation for that identity. Because if you look at Australia, we look at people in New Zealand, you look at Canada, you look at the Cherokees in America, your First Nation status and being a part and being a member of and having that status comes with certain benefits. And when we talk about our First Nation status here in the country, it's to do with land, Yonga. I will not move away from the debate on land. Because if we don't have land, how can we say that we are free in the country of our fathers? Whether you Nguni or from the Bantu or you from the Khoi and Sen, if you are African, and we need to change this narrative that colored people that are the descendants are not African. Black in general and African, that needs to be changed. Because when we talk African, Yonga, I mean, come on now. The Rokat are there. We're the first Africans. In fact, I will go as far and say that we are the eldership of Africans. So why are we left behind? We have to participate, and this process will give us that benefit. Where when we get acknowledged, when we get the certificate, we can be able then to stake our claim in our Africanity.
First Nations status, is
Yes.
that the correct term?
Yes.
First
Nation.
Nation status.
Yes.
Captain, help me out here and help out the viewers
Viewers,
as well, that you've explained the whole process and the benefits thereof, but the first of the most important part of it, how do people access that? How do they go to get those? Because the people, slavery has gone beyond the physical form. It has got into their minds now. So can you help us to understand how do they go about in registering and getting themselves on board?
We are busy setting up a website where people will be able to register themselves. Because, you know, the Bill of Rights is clear. It's freedom of assembly, freedom of association. And we're not restricting it to my skin color type of people. No. Because our history will say that intermarriages took place. And there is many people, they don't know. Why? Because apartheid, you can see the effects of apartheid still in our communities. That our people still are struggling and coming to terms and decolonizing themselves. I think it's important that is another step going forward, that we need to reach a point where we say that we need to decolonize our communities, whether it's in New Brighton, whether it's in KwaZulu or wherever, whether it's in Kariga or KwaNabusle, that decolonization process starts with accepting the start and where we are as a country. We begin to accept, and I said to somebody the other day, there shouldn't be any discourse when it comes to our Bantu brothers and sisters on the other side, because it's been recorded. And when you deal with records, all we are saying, we are one. Don't leave us behind. Don't make as if we are coming from, we've been nowhere else but here in South Africa. And you guys need to help us and support us in that struggle. Because our liberation will come when we have a seat at the table and talk about the issue of land expropriation without compensation, because we've not been consulted as yet.
Thank you. You heard it for yourself, viewers, on this platform of Amaqhawe Ethu, where we are discussing these matters and the struggles that are still continuing. Captain Edmund Stirman has shared with us now that please do support the process of registering yourselves into this very important struggle. Maybe it is the last kick in order to liberate ourselves as Africans. First, a nation status in the country has many other benefits to it. Thank you very much. And we are going to have our last segment on this episode with the chief. Do stay on so that we all round out this program together. Thank you very much. Good evening once again, viewers, and Amaqhawe Ethu appreciates your presence. For those that have just tuned in, you missed out a lot, but don't worry. We're going to bring it back to you as with Mpumakapa TV on channel 260 DSTV. We have a special guest. We have someone very important, and we have someone very knowledgeable. When I heard about it, I was told that I can sit with him for 26 hours. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury of time and production. But he has been sharing with us about the origins of their movements. Who is he? He's an 8th descendant of Chief David Stirman, whom the airport of Gqeberha is named after. He has shared with us their initiatives on with Nelson Mandela on indigenous knowledge systems. He has also shared with us a very important coming event for the Cultural Heritage Day here in Gqeberha, and demanded on this platform that the Gate Mackenzie second, you must come closer in Gqeberha and address the National Heritage Day here in Gqeberha, where we will be having diversified activities, where we'll be having many other activities. But the demand is that you must also come and talk on Mpumakapa TV and give us some support. For this is Mpumakapa TV station that is hosting Chief Edmund Stirman, called Captain in his family lineage. This is our last segment. You've been with us. Unfortunately, I don't have the other 25 hours, but we can make it in drips and pieces as we go along. Can you give us your last parting words with the viewers, and in your wisdom and in your embedded heroic knowledge you are having, because you took it from the chief himself, escaped in Robben Island, I'm told, and they had to take him to another island far away. Sure, colonialism has costed us. And can you share with us your parting words?
Yonga, thanks for this opportunity yet again. I was brought up to always say thank you and be thankful for every opportunity. You don't come by usually, but in short from me, to the viewers out there, the koi and sand is the final piece of the puzzle. It needs to come together. It needs to come to the table. A lot of blood was shed for this country. In fact, the people that suffered the most genocide was the koi and sand. And it's important that we have to look each other in the eye And when I say that, I'm talking even to government. Our people needs the support of government. Our people need to support each other. Our people need the information to be shared. Our people need not lose hope, because some of our people are losing hope because of unemployment, inequality, and our kids, the crime, the drug addiction. And I believe as a leader, I need to speak directly to government and to the nation that we need together do more for our communities. There are people, I mean, I've got kids in my area that come knock on my door 9 p.m. at night for a slice of bread. And some people are sleeping in warm beds. If there are people out there that can give, please give. Please support these NPOs and NGOs that are there and make South Africa a better place for everybody. Let's move our people away from the margin. It don't need to be in money terms, but if we help economic development, our fishers that are struggling in terms of quotas, let's be more user-friendly in terms of the systems of government and make leeway, special dispensation to these communities that are struggling. And as a country, we move from where we find ourselves because it's like a sinking ship at the moment. But I believe the good in every South African is still within us. And the love that we have for each other is so, so important. And I'm hoping in my heart that South Africa will one day become a colorless society where we will be able to embrace each other. And when a term of social cohesion will become a thing of the past because it's going to become normal in society, where we're not scared to go into the location, or the location people are not scared to come to the northern areas or to the western suburbs, and we change the balance, the scales, and make it a more equal society. I think it's within us. I think the resources are there. We just need to find a way at the table, talk to each other, embrace each other, listen to each other, and make South Africa a better place for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. You remind me of one of the great sons of this soil, Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, who once said, I quote, "The only race that exists is the human race."
Yes.
A close quote, because he has mentioned that Chief Captain Edmund Stearman, that we need to be a colorless society. We need to be a raceless society where we support these people. I think I'm quoting you correctly. And he has appealed for your support in your areas to embrace each other and stop these labelings, coloreds or Africans, but to refer to each other as human beings and brothers and children of the soil, where we'll be colorless, where we'll be triballess, or whatever you want to term it. These little things that divides us. Many other, you can leave the other stuff, you can leave it to religious or political differences, but as human beings, we need to call each other brother and sister, children of the soil, especially in this lovely land of ours, Emhlanganisweni. Chief, thanks for coming and thanks for embracing us. One last request. When are you going to give me my headgear? My calcop is freezing, and I think I'll have a nice size like yours. Your parting words with the viewers. Thank you.
First you have to go through the ceremony which we call the now. ceremony. But let me finish to the viewers. Our slogan within our tribe is Sidake Kuiba Radan. Sidake Kuiba Ngaunga, which means we win together and we lose together, I think.
He will write it down to you, viewers. He will. You need to follow him, Captain Edmund Stirman. I don't know where you find him on the
Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook.
And
Yeah.
It's Captain
Edmund Stirman.
Edmund Stirman. That's where you'll get him. Maybe you'll get more updates on his activities on the Khoisan struggle. Aluta continua, and they are still here with us. Amaqhawe Ethu would like to thank you for watching, supporting this program every day. On behalf of Mumakapa TV, I thank you. On behalf of Amaqhawe, I thank you. Viewers, please do support this program every Tuesday, 6:30 to 7:30. Enkosi kakhulu, qinqu. I heard that one. Enkosi.